Alright, I'm now going to show you how I use this brand new, or these brand new textures, the darker teal and the light teal. So we're going to be looking at that on this little piece right here, okay, which is this piece here. Now, are these two pieces the same? I would say they are the same. I mean, I duplicated it from that. So let's go like this. Delete that piece. Whoops. And let's go in and take this piece and duplicate it. Okay, so this is how it works. The UVs are already done for me. This is a non-unique part. It doesn't have general store written on it, and I can use it as a trim piece. Okay, well, things change now. And how they change is very, very simple. We're going to make two different materials here. Material 1 is going to be called dark teal. How about just color 1, because let's make it general. Color 1. And let's make another one called color 2. For color 1, it's going to have a texture. That texture will be able to change later on in the engine if we wanted to. For right now, it's going to be dark teal. And dark teal, I'm going to go down and say it's going to be generated on any UV that I put in here. Next, color 2 is my light teal. So let's go in here. Image or movie. UV, open, light teal. You can see that up there. Alright, now the magic stuff. Let's go to textured mode. And we're going to switch out this idea of an individualized map. Edit mode. Let's go into this area. This is going to get material 2. So over here, go in here, assign that material 2. Assign. And then everything else, make sure I have that selection thing on. Sometimes that's a little goofy. Hate that thing. I mean, it comes in handy, but sometimes you forget about it and you're highlighting stuff and you realize you only highlighted the front faces. So let's assign that. So it's good and bad. I mean, obviously it needs to be put in place. Okay, and this is where it needs to be turned on. Alright, there we go. That is going to be material 1. Okay, let's test it out because it's always good to test. Now, when I go like this and go select, it should select the top part. And when I off click and go over here and go select, this should highlight the bottom part. Make sure they highlight like that or it will not work. So your first step is do your UVs and then decide what gets color 1 and what gets color 2. Now let's see the magic of this. Let's go in here, go File, Export, Wavefront Object. This gets into my Clean Assets directory, and this is going to be called Building Deco 1. I'll have building deco 2, 3, 4, and etc. and so forth. Down below, I'll say selection only. I want its UVs and its materials. Export that out. Now, what is this thing called? It's called Mesh 003. So maybe I should say Deco 1. Sorry about that. Best to export it with all the fancy values here. Goes in my clean assets drill, building deco 1. Okay, now check this out. So here's my clean assets. Here's my work in progress. I need dark teal and light teal. Copy those. Those are now ready to move on to the next stage with the clean assets. Paste those in here. Then my building deco material, I can go in here and state and you can see here it says general store color map, and there's 3 materials here. This is kind of sending me some red flags in my book as far as that goes. So why is it showing 3 separate materials when obviously there is only 2? So these are the things that you have to stop and say, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on here? Okay, under materials, I got this paint one, right? I want to get rid of that. There we go. Now I only have 2. Alright, that looks good. That looks good. Alright, should be good to go. Let's try that out. Okay, let's go back into the clean assets directory and look at that material file. There we go. Now we have 2. Now, does it matter what color maps? No, because that's going to change anyway. This is always going to change. Just as long as it shows this inside Unity, and then I can switch them out in Unity. Okay, so here we go. That's done. Save it. Close that out. Now I'm ready for building deco, dark, and light to go into production. Alright, let's go to Unity. And let's see what we got. It always brings in the third name at first, and I'll show you why. Here's building deco 1. Now if I go like this and say per texture, here's my materials. You can see there's 3 of them, a no name and 2 others. These are just going to be diffused, but they're going to be And this is color 1. Color 1, we decided that was going to be the darker one. And color 2 is going to be the lighter variation. And I bet that's what this one is too. There we go. Hey, it's all good in the wash. So there we go. We have the ability, let's say later on down the road I want to make another building, but I want to change those colors. I can totally change those colors up, and they're just individualized textures and individualized materials. Very cool, right? That actually sits here and it's quite small, but you can see that if I uniformly scale that down, that the texture still stands true. Everything stands true. I can use this in a great deal of things. I can use it as a smaller piece. I can duplicate it over and over, whatever. Just show you how universal it really is. So I could stretch that piece across, and since it's so high res as far as the material and textures is concerned, there's going to be absolutely no change. See? That's the advantage of that workflow. All right. Now that we have an example of what to do with universal pieces, we have to go back to the general store. So all these other pieces, like these, all these, get painted in such a manner, okay? But the general store is going to be different. So it's going to be in your assignment later on. Your assignment is going to be stating following. You need to separate these via color and via material, via texture, okay? So all these other pieces are painted just the same way as I painted this one. They're all going to have that. Some are going to have blue aspects, some are going to have dark blue aspects. In this case right here, this trim piece here, you can see inside the picture that the outside trim right here is dark and the inside trim is light. Same with the dark up here, light here. As far as these ornamental pieces, those are totally a different story altogether. We might be able to get to that in this series, maybe not. I don't know. Alright, so now what do we do with the general store sign? That's in the next video.